Ruby, you moved up in the world. You're on this side of the door. It's wet out there, and his little face was in the door. I opened it. He's like, yeah, I think I'll come in for just a minute this morning, Mom, but then I'm ready to go right back out. Hey, Gray. Good morning. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. It's 60 right now, and we did have rain overnight / this morning. Thunderstorms are in the forecast, and it's a little cloudy up there, but mostly clear right now. Morris was here, but he went up the hill and didn't stay. Huh. And Marty's not come out yet. Yes, loud Ruby. It's time for you to go out, honey. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get out of the way. There you go. There's no dry chow in there. There you go. Good boy. Oh, poor Ruby. Hey, bud. Good morning. Don says he didn't see the deer, but I heard him over in the side yard, and then I heard him run out toward the front, but I don't see him now. I'll be careful when I go down the driveway. Last night when we came in from Taekwondo, several ran across in front of me. Morris did come down the hill. I got to pet on him. Everybody's doing good. You waiting for me to come back in the house? Hi, little girl. Let's get this show on the road. Literally. Good morning, Ruby. Well, I knew it was bad news the minute I saw this little yellow exclamation point pop up. That only pops up for one reason, and that's because you have a tire that went down. And I just happened to be in the section on 401 where there's no driveways or any place to pull off. So thankfully, though, there is a little bit of a shoulder and a good bit of grass here. So I'm off the road, but I'm not happy about where I am. Johnny's dad's gonna come get him and take him to school. Johnny's let him know he's gonna be late. Don's headed this way to try to put enough air in the tire to drive it 3 miles farther up to Discount Tire, or put a plug in it to drive it up to Discount Tire. And if he doesn't feel like he can do that, or that's gonna work or whatever, then we'll call a tow truck. We've got towing on State Farm, and it is what it is, right? It's just a little kink in our plans this morning. I am all the way off the road. You can see the stripe there, but I'm not happy about where I am. I'm not even remotely happy about where I am. So, but yeah, air pressure very low. I have to say that with the beta running, it's almost like I can't get the tire pressure on the right anymore. And even with the bad pressure, the tire, usually when you have a tire go down, because this is not my first rodeo, unfortunately, the tire picture will show up with the pressure, and you'll be able to see right away what you're at and how fast it's dropping. And with the beta running this morning, that did not happen. So I lost some of my visibility to which tire and how fast. Would it have changed where I'm stopped and what happened? It would not. But it did cause me, when I, a moment or two's worth of, well, where the heck is that data? So anyway, Don will be here when he's here. And we had a friend go past us from the old neighborhood, and he called me right away and said, is there something I can do? Are you okay? What's wrong? And I said, I really appreciate it, but I got a flat tire, and there's not really anything you can do to help. But he's the kind of guy that could have changed the tire. But I still don't want to spare in my car, because I'm not ever going to do anything with that. And around town, Don, I can always be patient while Don comes. And on a trip it might be different, but even then, no. So anyway, I'm upset. I'm going to stop filming. I'm going to wait patiently for Don. Yeah, like I thought, Discount Tire's not far away. It's 2.5 miles, although that could seem an eternity with a tire that won't hold air, but we'll see. Just how we wanted to spend our morning. Don't you agree that walking 3 miles with a 20-pound weight vest is more fun than this?
Yeah, absolutely.
It costs you less too.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see Jules in the background. Dawn's pulled up beside me, or behind me now, and we decided to call for a tow. And we called Roadside, Tesla Roadside, and that went okay, except for they refused to talk to me because I'm not a driver on the account. I just have Dawn's password.
Yeah, but I don't.
Anyway, I don't exist as far as Tesla's concerned. It wouldn't matter if I sent her a picture of the title and showed I was on the title. It wouldn't matter. And anyway, that's good. They keep me in my car safe. But we got Don on the call, and he told him it was okay for them to help me. Boy, that goes over really. It's a good thing I'm not a feminist, because that wouldn't have gone over too well, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's all right. Anyway, they called towing. Apparently East Coast is too busy, and they're sending
somebody else,
a little local company, which is fine, and a flatbed, but they said 2 hours. So we'll be sitting here for a while. Yeah,
except for I gotta pee.
I was trying to skirt around that little problem. I won't have anything more to drink before we get off the side of the road.
Yeah.
Anyway, might as well make light of it, right? Because crying over it isn't going to change anything. So Johnny got to school okay. A flatbed tow truck just went by and he was empty. So the tow truck driver called Don, and he had gone up the road to use the restroom. He's gone like 10 minutes, and but not me. And his is back to Tesla, where they can't seem to, even after he verified it's me and they know I'm the one in the car, and they probably can see what cell phone number I called, they still gave the tow truck driver Don's cell phone. Well, what if he's on the job or out of state or couldn't answer, or he's not the person on the side of the road? It's not a big deal. Don just told the guy, you know, yeah, this is where we are. Somehow they thought we were in Rayford, North Carolina, that Tesla told them we were in Rayford. I don't know how that could be, because she very clearly knew. She was looking on the map. She could see the veterinary hospital. I said we were near Buffalo Lanes on US Highway 401, headed northbound. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, with either Android or iOS, you can send somebody your location, and we just send it to the tow truck guy, and he's good and he's on his way, and it's not going to be 2 hours.
Right. The other thing I was going to point out is I'm actually surprised that Tesla even had to ask us where we were. I mean, does not the car know exactly where it is? I mean, could she not see that? I mean, I understand if we called AAA wouldn't know where we are, because...
Well, I think she was confirming, but asking, confirming...
Right, okay.
Making sure she's got the right car, she got the right VIN. They did ask us the VIN, and you know, I always tell people 49083, and they hesitate, and they're like not sure what to do with that, and I'm like 49083, like, you know, it's a sub 50K car. They like 6 digits if you tell them the VIN, even if you've only got 5 meaningful digits. They really like 6. Be the same thing with you. She's 20,000.
Yeah.
Well, what would you do with that? Would you like think to put a 0 in front of it, or would you? Anyway, it's not a big deal. The tow truck guy's on his way. That would be good. Not sitting here all day. There's a thunderstorm just to our west with some intense weather. So it's just spitting out there right now, and there's not any real lightning, but I heard thunder a few times, of course, while Don was gone. And I was thinking, oh joy, it's going to pour, and then he's going to come to try to load Ruby up. I don't want the guy out there in the rain loading Ruby up. So anyway, hopefully he'll be here and the storm is sort of going north to the west of us. It's an unusual pattern. It's not northeast or southeast. It's sort of going north right now, and hopefully it'll stay west and not venture this way.
Like I said,
he's here. It's only 9 a.m. so realistically, this didn't, you know, he got here as fast as I could have hoped any tow truck driver would have showed up. Thank you. Dylan was fast. He knows Teslas. He's a really nice guy. Well, he raised Ruby right on up there. It's raining, but it's not thundering and lightning. I asked Don to have the guy back up before he goes forward so those branches won't scratch Ruby's hood. No reason he can't back up 10 or 15 feet and turn out instead of just going straight. He's a really nice kid. He did what?
I told the young man, Dylan is his name, I said, look, if anything happens to Ruby, we're both dead. So I just told him he needs to know that.
Right. Well, I did have Don go up and tell him to back up and then pull out. And he said he didn't even think about the branch. And thank you for pointing that out. And he did exactly what I asked him to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it did hit the front of his lights a little bit. And if he had gone forward, it would have hit Ruby.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And maybe on the glass roof, it would have been okay. And maybe not. Why risk it?
Right.
And I'll need a scratch on my hood this morning.
And the other thing he did, and he told me he was doing it, he only secured one side, the side away from the road. He didn't, he said, I'm going to go up there, and he did pull off at the first parking lot right north of, literally 500 feet up. And so he hooked up the other side. He said because it's just too dangerous on the side of the road. And I said, you mean folks won't get over? He said they won't get over for anything. So this thing that Marianne has where the truck drivers and people purposely do stuff, I guess that guy, he lives with that too, because it's like, they won't even cut him a break.
Yeah, well, he did good. I liked him. A Dean's Towing Service.
Yeah.
Maybe his dad or uncle or somebody. He was a good kid, so I wouldn't hesitate to use him again.
Yeah, he said they do Teslas all the time. He said they got a contract with Tesla.
Well, I just want everyone to know that those 2 Teslas on the side of the road today were only for a nail. I did not run out of range. I did not have a mechanical failure with my car. And when your wife's in trouble, you come with your Tesla to bail her out and take her home in style, right?
Well, I offered her just to take the car, but she didn't want to do that. So, I would have waited.
Right. Well, we would have seen him, in an hour or two if I was still sitting there, what we would have done. But
he was really quick. He said he literally had just dropped the car off over here.
Well, I did a video that a flatbed just went past me. And boy, and he was empty. And I'm pretty sure it was the same flatbed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think. So we lucked out with him being in the area, which is why I tried to get them to use East Coast.
Right,
because East Coast is 2 miles up the road is their main Raleigh location. I was basically right on top of them. So, and we've, all of our other Tesla towing experiences at East Coast has been at East Coast. But I don't know, maybe they don't still have the service contract. All the lady with Tesla told us was that, they were unavailable. She didn't tell me we don't do business with them anymore or whatever. She was a little hard to understand. I was not, back in 2017 when you called Tesla, you talked to one of the kids in California at the local Fremont service desk. I'm not kidding you. And now I don't know where she was. I should have asked her, but I did have a little trouble understanding her. It was good enough. It was okay, but it wasn't as easy as I would have preferred. Anyway, we'll be home in about 10-15 minutes, something like that. I don't know. I haven't had a drink in a month or two. Is it too early? Is it too early for a wine cooler?
Oh, you can get a wine cooler or 2.
No, I'm just joking. I am. I gotta go leave at 1:30 to go pick up Johnny.
Yeah, we have enough range, 51%.
Think you plug in for me a little bit when we get home?
Man, you'd be good. That's like 180 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you see Tux, the black blob on the walkway, on the boardwalk. He wanted me to give him some attention. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. I gotta go when I get home. Okay. It's 1:35 p.m. and I am headed downtown to get Johnny. And Ruby got to Tesla okay. And when we came home, it was raining and I needed to do yesterday's video, so we did not try to walk. It's obviously nice and sunny now, although I think we're expecting some pop-up showers after 4 p.m. And let me tell you, the walk between the house and the car, it feels like we're going to get some pop-up showers. I paused to look at my arrival time downtown. It's currently 2:16. I will probably lose 5 minutes for sure because it's Friday in Fuquay and traffic is always a disaster. But I hope not, But 2:20 be fine. Just don't let it rain before I get Johnny in the car. They did say the storms this afternoon could have small hail, and that puts the fear of God in me. And whichever car I'm driving, and hopefully I'll get back home. But that was after 4. It's 1:30. I'll be home before then, even though I do plan to run into Harris Teeter. So the update on Ruby, why I started this video. They agreed to do the brakes while she's there. They have the parts in. They had it been ordered, they're there. Maybe those are parts they keep around, or they already arrived, I don't know which. I asked them to save the brake pads and put them in the back of the car, because I think we're all curious as to what they look like. And a friend suggested that. Thank you, Andy. That's a good thought process. We all want to know how long to expect our brake pads to last. Though bear in mind that Ruby is an older car with less regen, and FSD is not the kindest to the brake pedal and regen as the human drivers can be in like the newer Model Ys and 3s, and even the S and the X now. And they're going to put 2 new rear tires on. They never came out and said that tire's not repairable, but they did, you know, basically said you need a new tire. And I asked them to take a picture of, or at least describe, the offending piece of metal, because inquiring minds want to know. We got Valerie at Raleigh Tesla to give us a call. We had to wait a little bit. I mean, I'm sure she's busy. She called us within an hour, and we were able to really get to the bottom of what we were looking for. I told her that the brake noise was really disconcerting. It's kind of getting a little scary to drive my car. I was thinking before the tire incident this morning that I might have to park Ruby until the service appointment. Although Don said, you know, the damage to the front rotors has already been done, and so, you know, we're not really probably worried about trying not to cause more damage. But and she was stopping fine, but still, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to risk more damage, etc., etc. So maybe done by end of day, maybe not, I'm not sure. The nice thing about Tesla is you can pick up your car anytime that's convenient for you, because you just pay in the app. And in this case, they actually do have Don's key fob, so it would be helpful to go by during regular hours. But yeah, so maybe we would pick her up tomorrow morning, even if they said she was ready today. I guess it just depends on what time they're ready. When they have salespeople there, though, they can retrieve a key fob. So even if it's outside of service hours, just, you know, if Tesla's open, they have somebody there that can get to the lockbox. But typically when you pick up your car from service with Tesla, you just go when it's convenient for you. Although they do ask and state that there is a fee if you leave your car there too long, right? Because that's a busy parking lot. They probably don't do that everywhere, but at Tesla Raleigh, where parking is beyond a premium, they care about how long you leave your car. So anyway, that's the update. Stressful day. Got the video done, did a couple other tasks, and headed downtown for Johnny. He does have Taekwondo tonight. He is here this weekend, and yep, that's what's going on. Doesn't seem to prompt me or understand that when I disengage autopilot that I get to send feedback to Tesla. But Jules twice now, and the first time I missed it, is doing that. Yeah, changing lanes to follow route, so she put me in the left lane there when I don't need to get in the left lane. But anyway, she tried to take me into the Food Lion right turn lane parking lot back there for no reason, and I was able to communicate that to Tesla this time. Well, it was a pretty drive downtown, and now I've got Johnny and we're headed back home. That was the construction zone beep. It's so helpful. You can go in front of me if you want. Bye. You know, I just had a thought about the tow truck driver getting told by Tesla that we were in Rayford, which I guess the tow truck driver said that's near Fayetteville, because this is US Highway 401, but it's also called Fayetteville Road because it's the road between, well, Raleigh and Fayetteville. I mean, you can get to Fayetteville on this road, and so I have to wonder if that's where the confusion came in this morning instead of, but still, one has to wonder, since the car knows exactly the GPS location that it's at, why they wouldn't have just passed on those coordinates to the tow truck driver, right? I mean, I wasn't able to give her my exact address because, you know, the car just says Fayetteville Road. I probably could have, I think on this big screen in Ruby, I guess I could have gone into, the Tesla app, and she probably had the street address, more details on the location there. Like right now, Jules says we're on North Main Street, and this is technically inside the Fuquay city limits. They own the city owns the 401 corridor here, but does not own any of the stuff off on either side. It's sort of odd, but anyway, now that I think about it, that must be why he thought we were in Fayetteville when he gave the quote and was confused. So I think I said earlier that he had me text him my Apple phone location. Apple has a feature to do that, and as it turns out, Android phones do too. It's a little different interface, but they'll both do it, and that ended all doubt he had about where we were. So it's raining, but the sun's out now. The really bad part of the storm went just to the west of us. We came down the driveway, and I'll pop up a picture here. There was this largish, way too large to drive over tree limb on the driveway, and Johnny picked up on one end of it, and I picked up on the other in the rain, and we got it moved out of the way. As long as it just fell on the asphalt. No harm, no foul. We were able to move it. Don's looking up the cost of the GMC brake job, but just to say, Tesla just lowered the estimate.
Yeah.
They removed the back brake surface, and they only did the service for the front brakes. Right. And they found 4 tires. Right. It would have been even less, except for they added 2 more tires on. They removed stuff and they added stuff. So we're we're at $3,000. So it's not like it's a bargain, but it does include 4 brand new tires. So, right. Phew.
That's right.
They're still saying 5:30, and we're not sure when we're going to get her. They do have your key fob, so I wonder.
Yeah, they have my key fob.
We have to go. Normally we could go anytime, but we sort of have to go when there's at least a salesperson there to get your fob out of the lockbox.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Oops.
We were debating going tomorrow morning because of Taekwondo and Friday afternoon rush hour traffic, and maybe one thing if we could drive up there. Oh, I don't want to go up there at 8 o'clock tonight. Well, we'll see. I mean, I want Ruby back. Don't misunderstand. I've drove to Raleigh and back twice today. I don't really want to drive to Raleigh and back a 3rd time today. And I get really tired and sleepy and have trouble being alert and a good driver at 8 o'clock, at 6 o'clock at night for long distances. And that's, you know, it's 45, 50 minutes each direction. Right. So we'll debate. Yeah. Well, they haven't told us she's ready, but it's sounding like they might make their 5:30 time.
Well, I have to say I'm impressed that they were able to get everything in. You know, an emergency tire repair, everybody that's totally expected. But then to move forward, the brake job that was, of course, I would expect them to have brake stuff in stock. I mean, it's nice that they have to order stuff, but that's pretty run of the mill.
Right. Well, when you talk to your service advisor, make sure to always be in the appropriate, nice frame of mind.
Right.
I've always found Tesla to really be helpful when they feel like they're helping really nice people. Right. And so walk with a soft gentle footstep when, well, I mean, I felt like we did that today when we talked to Valerie. As you know, all you can do is ask and ask nicely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
She was the one that I spoke to last time I was up there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. We'll look up the GMC because our point is going to be that it costs just as much to do the GMC brakes as it did the Tesla brakes.
Right, it was in the ballpark. They weren't.
They're close.
That's right.
And there's another storm coming. Don's driving. I'm hopping in with him and Johnny. Drop Johnny off at Taekwondo. Tesla has not said Ruby's ready, but we do think she's close. We're still undecided. Well, we can't make a final decision until we know exactly when she's ready, but our best window was maybe to try to go while Johnny was at Taekwondo. I don't know. Well, right now, Ruby is still inside with her hood up at Tesla, and I'm praying she stays there because there's a severe thunderstorm, and they said it could have half dollar-sized hail and vehicle damage was expected. Now, whether or not that goes right over Tesla or right over our house, I don't know, but it's headed near us. After the day I've had, I really need to sort some Legos. I need to de-stress. We'll go back and get Johnny in like an hour and 15 minutes. Ruby's still inside with the hood up. This is the bricks I got in the little cup at the Build-A-Brick wall. The last time I did that, it's been like 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. And I hadn't had a chance to put them away, so I'm going to sort these and put them away. This should be nice large groups of really nice new bricks. It's 6:30 and we'll be leaving in 15 minutes to pick Johnny up. Yep. The storm went to the west of us and then dissipated before it got near Tesla in downtown Raleigh. I think it rained there, but the hail, it died down, which is good. We don't need anybody getting hail damage. Our friend David lives over near there. We're worried about his Tesla, all the pretty Tesla. I mean, nobody needs hail damage.
Car getting damaged.
Right. Ruby's still inside. Still says she's going to be fixed by 5:30 today. Now, let us be clear. They did a lot of extra work for us today. We told them on the phone earlier today it wasn't urgent. She'd be complete today, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, would it have been nice if it said, come pick her up Monday by noon or something? Probably, but they'll get around to that later today. It's okay. So I guess we're not going to pick up Ruby tonight.
Right.
And really what I cared about was inside, safe, no hail. I'm not falling asleep trying to get her home. So I think we're all good. And if somebody pops up and says we can pick her up tomorrow, we will. But apparently, at least publicly listed hours, they're closed tomorrow. Now, if the service guys come in and do work overnight or on the weekend or whatever, that's one thing. But publicly, they're closed. Right. So,
and I did look up the brake job on the GMC because I had the air conditioner fixed and the brakes fixed. It was $890 for the brake job on the GMC.
And that was front and back, so it was cheaper than Ruby's.
It was cheaper, that's right.
But Ruby's is a little over
$100,
$1,009. We'll put up. We'll talk about the specifics when we're 100% for sure what we're paying for, which we're pretty close now after the 5th revision of the estimate. Well, although it mostly went down. So that's good. They added on
and then they did an alignment.
Right, and then they added the alignment. Yeah. But anyway, what the GMC was apparently cheaper.
A little bit. Well, yeah.
Don had the way Tesla groups the specific items that they work on makes it a little easier to understand where your money went as far as the labor goes. The GMC had one block of labor for everything they did.
That's right.
Whereas Tesla splits the labor out by itemized work thing.
Right.
It's better blocks of stuff. Yeah, I'd say the Tesla invoice was a little easier to read. Of course, it was in color on top of other things, but
right. Well, anyway, I'm just simply saying that, the GMC had 80,000 miles on it and needed a brake job, and Ruby's got 17,000, it needed a front brake job. And I told Marianne, because I had looked and took my fingernail and ran it across the rear rotor, disc rotor, and they were smooth. There wasn't, it didn't catch on anything. So I
better make sure it's not
fine.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Is it Tesla?
It's Tesla.
Well, that was really nice of her to call. And
Yep.
what I heard is not done yet, which
Yep.
we knew,
Yep.
or they would have marked her done. Maybe done tomorrow.
Maybe.
They are working 8 to 12,
That's
but
right.
worst case, she'll be here. She'll be ready Monday,
That's right.
and that's totally fine. And they didn't have any hail at Tesla, Don asked,
So yeah.
so that's good.